proofread their own official party charter. Now, I have plenty of criticism for all of the prime ministers this country have had. I don't think any of them have been very good. Basically, back until Callaghan, like the last good prime minister was Harold Wilson. But what I will say is that literally any of these prime ministers would be better at running the country than Andrew Tate. I can tell you that for a fact, that they would be better at running the country than Andrew Tate. Why am I comparing prime ministers to Andrew Tate, you ask? Well, he's running as a political candidate. He's created a fucking political party. Yeah, that's a thing that's happening. This is the world that we live in right now. And how he decided to get into politics was through a poll on Twitter. Ultra serious post. Should I enter politics and run for Prime Minister of the UK? And he has a supermajority, mate. His followers really do want to see him as Prime Minister of this country. 69%. Nice. He's been tweeting about it all day. Such future electoral slogans as Top G, the G stands for government, just the kind of erudite political campaigning that you're going to get from Tate, which should be very interesting, to say the least. And some of the reasons that he are giving for getting into politics are misspelled, of course. But he believes that there are no political parties which are brave enough to address the issues facing the UK. They are all weak and afraid of the media. None of them will put them on blast like I do. They all cower in front of the BBC. I do not cower in front of pedophiles, which is spelt the American way. Don't think you can be British whilst spelling it without the A. Andrew. I'll be launching a brand new political party which is unwavering and unafraid. No compromise. Even done mock-ups of himself as Prime Minister. And in true, incredibly cringe fashion, he's decided to call his party the Bruv Party, which stands for Britain Restoring Underlying Values. #VoteBruv. I'm sure this will do very well, Andrew. Let's have a read of the manifesto, shall we? It's 21 pages long. Bruv Party, a call to restore Britain. A time-limited mission of accountability. This isn't about empty promises or lifelong careers in politics. It's about results. Everything I pledge comes with a distinct time limit. If I don't deliver, I step down. No excuses, no hiding, no second chances. Unlike the career politicians who cling to power while achieving nothing, I will hold myself accountable to the same standard I command from others. If I fail, I face the consequences, because leadership is about service, not self-preservation. This is a mission, not a reign, and it ends the moment it stops delivering for the British people. We can save Britain quickly with immediate and decisive action. Unapologetic, relentless, for Britain. Top understander of British politics, releasing a manifesto 6 months after an election. With 45 days to achieve his manifesto pledges. Look around you. Look at what we've become. A nation that once ruled the waves, that stood as the beacon of strength and freedom, now cowers under its own shadow. Our streets are dangerous, our borders are wide open, and our culture, it's being eroded. This isn't the Britain our ancestors fought for, this isn't the Britain they died for, and this cannot be the Britain we leave to our children. They deserve what brave men died for, they deserve what you've struggled for. We must end the generational failure. Well, the thing that they died for was the social democratic consensus that we got at the end of the Second World War. Like, the ashes of the Second World War gave us social democratic politics. It didn't give us weirdo, reactionary, definitely not fascist politics. Machismo and weaponry, I don't know what you're talking about. Complete with AI slop. Well, that's why they've seen the Labour Party getting in on the AI slop, and they don't want to miss out. They don't want to miss out, do they? Harsh migration control. Over 45,000 illegal migrants arrived on our shores last year. The solution is clear. Not one more boat lands on British soil. Boats will be leaving the UK filled with illegal migrants, and not a single one will be arriving on our shores. This is a campaign guarantee. The Royal Navy will patrol our waters, and a message will be clear: if you come here illegally, you will not set foot on this land. Our borders are sacred, our sovereignty is not negotiable. Well, this is kind of illegal under international law, by the way. Reform UK wanted to do something similar, and they're not allowed to because it's illegal under international law. So you're going to have to actually break some laws. And also, it's not illegal to arrive by small boat and claim asylum. That's legal to do that. it's perfectly legal to claim asylum whilst arriving via irregular means. But of course, Andrew Tate has been watching the No Justice stream, which you would know if he'd been watching. And of course, how would they know where the dinghies were without the dogs to sniff the dinghy rubber? Very true, Journeying Jordan in chat. I love how half of this isn't a manifesto. A lot of it is just kind of a picture book. It feels like reading a kid's picture book, doesn't it? Where you just put small number of words plus picture. This is just a grift. He wants to spend the money to rent out cars he doesn't own. Has he opened a donations page? That's an interesting thing to find out. No, there's just a sign up. There is a mailing list. You can't give them money yet. There is a mailing list. Knife crime epidemic. Zero tolerance, maximum deterrence. Isn't knife crime on the downward trend at the moment? Isn't the only kind of crime that's going up like fraud? I understand that knife crime is a problem, and I think we should definitely solve it, but we are doing good things at the moment. We're seeing numbers drop, if I'm remembering correctly. Last year, there were 50,000 knife crime offences in England and Wales. That's 137 every single day. Mothers burying sons, fathers burying daughters, lives stolen, futures destroyed. And what's the punishment? A slap on the wrist, a few years in jail. No, the punishment will be seen by every Briton every day. Introducing BBC Punishment, a 24/7 live broadcast of knife crime offenders serving solitary confinement. No redemption arcs, no second chances, just the cold, hard reality of a life wasted in a concrete cell. It's all a bit Black Mirror, isn't it, chat? Like, you say you hate paedophiles, right? You thought you want to do this for the really bad guys. What's next? Pay-per-view executions. I mean, to be fair, if you made being a massive CEO bellend illegal, I would definitely pay-per-view to watch them, like, knife fight to the death. Imagine a 15-year-old boy tempted to pick up a blade, turning on the TV and seeing a man grow old and die alone. That's not cruelty, it's deterrence, and it will save lives. I mean, unfortunately, deterrence usually isn't an effective method of reducing crime. The material conditions that create the crime in the first place is what you need to be able to deal with. Maybe the Nayib Bukele route to dealing with crime is something that is worth trying, but that basically involved a lot of the removal of civil liberties and lots of innocent people getting locked up. And given that one of the things he said was good about Britain was freedom, I don't think removing people's freedom to be not put in prison illegally or to not be put in prison whilst having broken no laws, I don't think people are going to agree with you on that one. Reforming the BBC, a rotten institution. Well, clearly he's got the important things down. I wonder what he's going to do for the NHS. The BBC was once a cornerstone of British culture. Today it's a stain on our nation's name. Sexual abuse scandals. Well, I mean, that's just a problem with any institution that's got rich people in it. I don't think it's necessarily specific to the BBC, although the BBC does need to get fixed with regards to that. Allegations of child exploitation and reports of pornographic content. I thought you liked naked women, Andrew. You literally ran a business selling pornographic content. It's a bit hypocritical, don't you think? It's almost as hypocritical as saying that grooming gangs are bad whilst you're standing charged with actual sex trafficking crimes. But what am I to say to the bruv manifesto, the bruv charter? This is not just negligence, it's rot, and it must be purged. The BBC will be stripped down and rebuilt. Its mission will be factual reporting, not propaganda. I don't think he understands what the BBC charter is. I mean, if we want to see problems with BBC's reporting, maybe check out Owen Jones's report into bias with regards to Israel. But when have the BBC made up news or put out propaganda? I mean, you can accuse them of having ideological biases, but then again, every single news organisation does that. And the problem is with private schools, it's not with the BBC being rotten or whatever. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. I've just read the next line, chat. I've just read the next line. The BBC will get its topics from X, the Everything app, and have a community note style online system for verification of all stories and debate with the public. Like, what do I say? How do I respond to this, chat? How can I possibly critique such incredibly crafted policy? It's perfect. There is absolutely nothing wrong with BBC getting its topics from X, the Everything app, and having a community note style online system for verification of all stories and the debate with the public. You know, community notes isn't actually real verification. And I thought also the right wing hated fact checkers. I do like the idea of a channel called BBC Punishment, just 24-hour loop of Mrs. Brown's Boys. That's a very good point, Tessie Pup, actually. The BBC will have a public trust score based on its accurate reporting of events and voted on by the populace. Oh, so it's Dave Rubin who's written this, has it? We should be able to review the BBC on Yelp, shall we? The BBC must reach a minimum trust level to be government funded. The BBC must serve Britain, not undermine it. Maybe he's trying to get on the Musk cash. If Musk doesn't like Reform UK because Nigel Farage isn't up to the task, maybe he'll donate his £100 million to the Bruv party. Protecting our children and restoring traditional values. What? Like the traditional values of being trafficked to other countries to do webcam businesses, which is something that Tate is only alleged to have done. You know, he's still not gone through his day in court yet. These are still allegations at this time. The attack on our culture doesn't just end with the BBC. It's happening in our schools, where the innocence of children is being sacrificed on the altar of ideology. Did you know that children as young as 6 are being exposed to graphic LGBTQ+ materials? No, because it's not true. By graphic, he means something that says, do you know that 2 women can be in a relationship, which of course is the kind of relationship advice or the relationship education that people of age 6 should be getting, understanding that, you know, maybe the people that you're in your class with have parents who are the same gender. This is not education, it is indoctrination. I mean, you know, it's like saying that teaching people about ancient Greece is going to turn them into pederasts. No, you don't make people into something by teaching them that it exists or that it did exist previously. Let me be crystal clear. All LGBTQ+ propaganda will be banned from schools. What about the one where you said it's fine to fuck trans women? Because Andrew Tate did say this. Very funny to me. Trans-inclusive radical misogyny. Classrooms will no longer be battlegrounds for ideological warfare. Do you know there are people out there who ideologically disagree with loads of things that schools teach, but you agree with them because you think it's part of a consensus, right? That's what is the justification for state education. Instead, we'll promote traditional family values, respect, responsibility, and the importance of strong family bonds. That is an ideology. Traditional family values are an ideology. You are being ideological. But again, of course, this is the kind of right-wing fucking brain rot that you see everywhere, pushed by everybody from the right wing, that they believe that they are non-ideological, everyone else is. Newsflash, it's pure ideology. Which, I don't know why I haven't got that on the soundboard yet. Why have I not got Slavoj Žižek saying pure ideology on the soundboard? This is not about hate, it's about protecting childhood. Why do you think that childhood gets undermined by them knowing that gay people exist? Ideologies are like accents, you never notice your own. True, very true. Britain's history is under attack. Our heroes are vilified, our traditions dismissed, and our streets no longer reflect the country we know and love. I wonder what he thinks is wrong about the streets. Do you think it's American chains that he's complaining about? Or do you think, again, that it's Mr. Patel with his off-licence down the road? Which one of those do you think he's actually complaining about here? I wonder. It's time to restore pride in our heritage. Appoint a Minister for British Culture to celebrate and preserve our history. Cap non-British residents at 10% of the population to maintain cultural balance. But British residents are based upon citizenship. To be able to get citizenship, you need to be a member of the population first. Well, I guess you're just going to no immigration at all then, okay. Whatever. I don't think that necessarily tells you whether or not we have a cultural cohesion or not, but go ahead. You're going to cap... What if 12% of Australians want to come here? Is that going to be a problem? Or are they culturally the same as what we were saying about Australians 10 years ago? I mean, that's unironically true, Noblini. A Minister for British Culture, it probably is more reasonable to have as a minister than a Minister for Common Sense. A Minister for British Culture as opposed to the Minister for Culture, Media and Sport. That's true, we already have a Culture Secretary. I didn't think of that. Replace modern art with statues and monuments honouring British heroes. Okay, so we've got obsession with machismo and weaponry. We've got a glorification of a forgotten past. The denigration of modern art. Let's bring it up, shall we? The cult of tradition. The rejection of rationalism. The cult of action. Yeah, getting all your things done in the first 45 days. Yes, indeed. Distrust of intellectualism. Again, yeah, the schools have gone woke, we can't trust them. Appeal against the intruders. appeal to a frustrated and fearful middle class, the obsession with a plot against the people, the building up and tearing down of national enemies, the principle of permanent struggle, nationality as ultimate privilege, the cult of heroic death. Well, he didn't talk about people dying for their country before, did he? Machismo and weaponry. The notion that the leader incarnates the will of the people. And of course, Newspeak as well. I don't think he really qualifies for Newspeak, but that's probably like 11 out of 14 there. Ensure every street in Britain feels British, with English signage, flags, and traditional architecture. British architecture has changed fucking century after century. What defines British traditional architecture? Any illegal migrant which is identified by a police officer will be arrested and deported from a nation within 7 days? No court case. That's what happens already. People who are illegal migrants are those who have outstayed their visas. If they get found by the authorities, they get deported. That's how outstaying your visa works, which is the kind of illegal migration, i.e. not people who arrive on a small boat and claim asylum because that's perfectly legal to do. Men died for our flag. It should be seen on our streets. Yeah, the cult of the heroic death. Yeah, it's not seeing any Umberto Eco here at all, are we? Revolutionizing education, promote entrepreneurship and critical thinking. Well, I guess that it is a push back against Umberto Eco. Teach our children not just to take jobs, but to create them. I mean, one of the leftist criticism of education is it's made to make people who are good workers, obedient workers, rather than critical thinkers. But unfortunately, the universities are the places where you get critical thinking. And weirdly, most of those people who have engaged in critical thinking don't agree with you, Andrew. To be fair, when we talk about creating jobs, you know what gets rid of jobs? Artificial intelligence. Or machine learning, what we should really call it, because it's not artificial intelligence. Like, machine learning destroys jobs. You are promoting technology that destroys jobs. No, where's that spelt wrong? I'm just read it. I was too busy reading the words, chat. Clearly, I wasn't spending enough time reading the pictures. They've not fucking like proofread their own official party charter. And so in their education section of the charter, where they're promoting people creating jobs, and then they use AI artwork which destroys jobs, and the incredible piece of AI artwork that they have put into their official party charter has got the words entrepreneurial swipe. It's just a misspelled word. It shouldn't be this funny. It's just so fucking hilarious to me. Entrepreneurial swipe. My favorite kind of education is where we teach people critical thinking. Entrepreneurial swipe. Is the future UK going to have a giant Union flag as a big wind turbine, though? Well, clearly that's the way that we restore pride in Britain. Giant Union flag turbine. But it is, as what I said, it's all up like Gary Vaynerchuk style hustle culture shit, teaching people to thrive in a competitive world, right, rather than making a collaborative world. I think this is in like a mix of Greek and Hebrew, and this isn't an arrow. This is like a dove. This is a dove that's like hit a gust of wind and is kind of flying backwards. We need to I need to go back and analyze all the AI. Fuck it. Hang on. I'm gonna have to go back and analyze all of the AI images they've done here. And by they've done, I mean other people have done, and the AI machine learning thing is stolen. We're gonna teach Respond 3-bitty. Respond 3-bitty. Love it. Investing where it matters. Getting rid of foreign aid expenditure. How do you think we stop all the migrants coming here? It's by international development, Andrew. Much of it is going to countries that later send migrants to our shores. They will send fewer migrants if we develop the countries and stop them being hellholes that have been exploited by colonial pipelines, you fucking idiot. Nearly 1 in 5 schools in England are rated as inadequate. Some areas face infrastructure deficits. I mean, we should be funding roads, public transport, and community centres. That is true. It's interesting that even Andrew Tate knows that we need to get Sure Start back. It's where it's at. Like, you need, like, even fucking Mr. Entrepreneur Swipe thinks we should be funding community centres. It's based. It's true. Everyone agrees. No more foreign aid, no more foreign wars. I agree. We need to stop being the world police. Oh, this must surely have something. British Farbish taxayers fuel. VAT list. $8. Dinar? Prioritising the NHS. It's about nativism. So stopping health tourism and having a priority list based upon nationality. Funding, removal of the private healthcare sector, anything like that? No investment into the overall capacity? Or are we just going to say that the problem is that British people are being under-prioritized? Accountability in government. Did you know that over 30% of MPs fail to meet basic attendance standards? If you don't show up, you're out. MPs work for the people, not their paychecks. Weekly referenda, powered by blockchain, will give every Briton a voice on the issues that matter most. Well, he's gone full Beppe Grillo, but with like crypto aesthetics. Refin-membum. That's what we're going to have. We're going to be able to vote on the refin-membum. Blockchain. Weber. Refen2. I'm sorry, I'm just big on Refi-membum. This is so fucking funny. ChatGPT, please make me a racism manifesto. Like, just edit the picture. Literally take you 5 fucking minutes to get out your app and be able to edit the pictures. A fair and transparent tax system. A new simplified tax code that can be understood in under 20 minutes. No hidden penalties for getting richer. Oh, so you want to make our country even worse then? Okay. A brand new tax code for cryptocurrency, working with industry leaders to encourage investment. Brilliant. I mean, it's essentially just, please make crypto big because I have investments and poor liquidity and to make me richer. Restoring masculinity and strength. Okay, machismo and weaponry. I don't know what you're talking about. Boxing and wrestling in schools. Okay, I'm sure that'll work. A national Bitcoin reserve. Nuclear power, though. Okay, we'll give him nuclear power. You know that it's about nuclear power and Bitcoin because he's got nuclear power and Bitcoin in the picture. ChatGPT, please draw me nuclear power with Bitcoin in the background. I agree there shouldn't be hidden penalties for getting richer. The penalties should be very visible. Blockstry of the future. United Blue Serin of the future. Ministry Sokured. Ministry of Future. National Health Strategy. Digital options, higher voter turnout, blockchain verified voting. Please don't do that. Then it's not a secret. If it's on the blockchain, it's not a secret ballot anymore. Working closely with our largest partner government, the United States. Oh, it is about being a cuck bitch to America. It's not about Britain and British sovereignty and making Britain great again. It's about being America's cuck bitch boy because it always is. A call to action. The bruv party. Still more interesting than Keith's policy speech. Well, that's the fucking sad part. Is people, you're saying things like punish MPs for not turning up to Parliament, things like digital voting, things, a lot of these things are probably a lot of policies that people are going to be, they would look at and they would support. I don't think it's difficult to get people to disagree with digital voting or MPs who actually turn up for more than 30% of the time. I don't think I think whether or not you think that it's going to be workable policy, it's certainly sellable policy. But it just seems to me a lot of this is just, please like me, please inflate the value of my cryptocurrency. At the end of the day, I think all of us are very excited for the entrepreneurial swipe lessons. Very true. Hey there, if you enjoyed the video, make sure that you like and leave a comment that helps the video out in the algorithm. If you subscribe and ring the bell, it'll let you know when I go live. I stream every day on YouTube and Twitch. You can also follow all of my socials down in the description. And if you want to support me in a more financial manner, there's a join button for membership. It's just 99p to be a member on YouTube, as well as a Patreon, and there's some merch there as well. And hopefully I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.